Welcome back, Plymouth North. We're excited to bring you this year's live episode of PNN.
On today's episode, we'll explore how eminent domain is taking the property of some Massachusetts homeowners.
Next, we will recognize the importance of marine conservation in the Cape Cod Bay.
Finally, we will take it to the courts to hear about Plymouth North students taking initiative and making their very own basketball league.
Get ready, Plymouth North. It's time for PNN Live.
Oh, Wilbur!
Welcome to the final episode of PNN, where we are live from 108A and our reporters will be in various locations around the town. I'm Amelia Finley.
And I'm Molly Lutz. Recently, Sagamore and Bourne residents have been worried about the future of their homes with the construction of the new Cape Cod bridges due to eminent domain.
Noah and Nelson have the details.
Historically, eminent domain has been a hot-button issue in the U.S. due to its potential for government overreach and the restriction of personal liberties. Now, the debate has resurfaced here at home as the Cape Bridge Replacement Project puts local properties and personal freedoms at the center of a heated discussion.
Cape Cod was always a place that both of us enjoyed when we were kids. When we got the notice, it was 4 months that we had lived here, that we were told that our dream home is going to be demolished because they needed to store equipment to build a bridge. It was March 3rd. There was a knock on our front door, and a person from a MassDOT car came up to our door and handed us a letter. We asked what it was, and they said it's about the bridge project, and we had questions. A woman was sitting right where you are talking to us, and we asked, well, what's your timeline for us to move? And she said somewhere between 3 months and 3 years. We have a bunch of neighbors who are just as concerned as us, some of whom their houses are being taken, and some of whom, literally about 100 feet from here, whose houses aren't being taken. Their house is now worthless for 10 years.
Eminent domain sits at the crossroads of public good and American individuality, often triggering controversy over where the line should be drawn. It aims to minimize the impact on the public and reduce the amount of taking that needs to be done. Locally, the issue has gained renewed attention following a 2019 federal study that determined that aging Sagamore and Bourne bridges, designed to last just 50 years, must be replaced. Now part of a $4.5 billion effort, shovels are expected to hit the ground in late 2027 or 2028.
All property that you hold, we're talking about real property, land that people own, you own it subject to two powers: the regulatory power of the government, but the other is the power of eminent domain. So eminent domain is the government's power to take your property and therefore be required to give you just compensation for it because they determine that property is needed for the public good.
The term just compensation can be subjective to some. In eminent domain, offers are based on the highest fair market value of the property, determined by factors like comparable sales, the property's highest and best use, and any damages to the remaining property if only part is taken.
At that meeting on April 15th, the head of this project stood up, and she's quoted saying, "We will get you the exact house you have now." When you try to find a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom house near the water around here on a quiet street, they're about $1.4 million. That is probably more than double what they're going to give us for this house.
While families like the Hendells are grappling with what they stand to lose, state officials emphasize what the Cape stands to gain.
The simple answer is that reliable bridges are needed for the functioning of the Cape Cod region. So we rely on that vehicle connection to the rest of the mainland. So all the 229,000 residents of the Cape, certainly all the businesses, as well as our friends over on the islands, rely on that connection. First, I'll say that eminent domain is always challenging, and we understand impacts on people's properties and lives. This is a once-in-a-generation project in terms of both the scale and the importance to the region. So we want to make sure people have access to this information and are able to participate.
Although MassDOT maintains a position that they are open for public comment, for some people, they haven't been the most accessible.
Representative Zaros had a public meeting. He invited MassDOT, invited us to answer our questions. They didn't even show up. MassDOT didn't show up at this meeting. So has the public been involved? Yeah, they've checked the boxes to say we have had public meetings and we've taken comments and all that. Have they listened? I don't think so.
For now, the Cape Bridge replacement project moves forward, promising improved infrastructure, but also the difficult reality of resident displacement. As the conversation around eminent domain continues, striking a balance between progress and preservation remains a challenge for both state officials and the communities they serve. Reporting for PNN, I'm Noah Kerr.
Thanks, Noah and Nelson. It's important to see the perspectives of people affected by these growing concerns.
Now we'll fly into the Plymouth Municipal Airport with Jen and Vivian, where we will learn more about the airport's master plan, which involves extending the runway.
The Plymouth Municipal Airport has been an integral part of our town since 1934 when it first opened. In 2024, they proposed a plan to extend the length of one of its runways in accordance with the Federal Aviation Administration's recommended safety standards. With increased flight traffic overhead, several concerned community members have spoken out against it.
Well, the one we're looking at right now is runway 624 because it's the only one right now of the two that we have that provides us an ability to lengthen it without having to go into, massive reconstruction of the ground surrounding it. And but this one has plenty of additional space, at least additional space to cover 351 feet.
According to the Federal Aviation Administration standards, Plymouth Municipal Airport will remain a basic utility Stage 2, known as a B2 category airport, catering to a wide range of general aviation aircraft. This includes single and multi-engine aircraft, but mainly propeller aircraft up to 12,500 pounds or less.
It's a B2 category airport. That category is not changing when we extend the runway. So it would end up being the same aircraft that use it right now would continue to use it.
If you add 10 feet, it increases safety, and smaller planes will increase safety. But what we believe is behind it is why 5,000 feet? It's private luxury jets. They're hiding that. They've been misleading the town. They're not being honest with the town of the why. And we've been saying that to everybody we speak to.
Many Plymouth residents have voiced their concerns about the true nature of this project, noting that it is unclear whether the mission for the airport is simply to improve safety for pilots or if there are different unsaid reasons behind the extension.
We feel very much that they're not listening to us. They're not listening to our concerns. They keep telling us that there is no increase in traffic, that there will be no increase in traffic. They say it's all for safety when we show over and over again that it's not for safety.
The runway extension came up about a year ago, and after that we did have an increase in traffic, and it was a little bit noisier here at the airport. So I think people are assuming that with the runway extension it's going to be busier, but with the noise complaints and stuff like that, yeah, there has been some more than average, I would say, in the last year, noise complaints.
The FAA will pay for 95% of the project, the town of Plymouth 2.5%, and the Plymouth Airport the remaining 2.5%. If the proposed project is approved by the Airport Commission and the Plymouth Master Plan Committee, it then moves down to the town meeting so the funds can be allocated back to the airport in order to pay their portion.
We're just trying to make the airport safer for the users that use it currently, and we're not trying to drive in more traffic.
There are certain times of the day that we request that pilots do not depart or arrive to keep the night hours quiet. There are certain paths that particularly the training planes are asked to fly to avoid flying over houses on a repetitive basis. We have a brand new waste treatment plant. There is no dumping of any kind of fuel allowed on the airport. The airport is very concerned about the environment, has been since its inception.
The everyday traffic over neighborhoods has had unforeseen repercussions for the residents, with noise being a main worry.
Since then, we have set up our website, takebackourplymouthAirport.org. We have had petitions, so we have a petition on the website that we always encourage people to go on the website, look at the website. We're only putting factual information, we're putting articles. See, there's a plane you can hear going over right now.
The first time we heard about the expansion, we were just concerned about the repetitive planes that all of a sudden in the last few years have been harassing us, it seems. And then I just Googled, why 5,000 feet? And it said to increase the opportunity for business and private jets with a minimum of 5,000 feet.
As the Airport Commission and Plymouth residents work to accommodate each other's concerns, the decision on whether to extend runway 24 by 351 feet remains undetermined. The final decision lies in the hands of the Plymouth Town Meeting. Reporting live for PNN, I'm Jen Cormier.
Thanks, Jen and Vivian. Next, I think Ellie and Kate might need a bigger boat as they educate us on the importance of preserving the diverse ecosystem off our shores.
Aquatic ecosystems play a vital role in defining the Cape area and its unique character. However, our environment is constantly threatened by pollution, climate change, and other factors. Luckily, local organizations are working to protect marine wildlife. Now, let's dive into marine conservation. Marine conservation means protecting all animals, especially the iconic apex predator of the Cape, sharks. Through public safety work, research, and education, the Atlantic White Shark Conservancy is protecting Cape Cod's most captivating residents.
During the summer and fall months, when we are actively out tagging individual great white sharks here off of our coastline, being able then to track their movements and their habits. So then as we're learning about those movements and habits, that helps them protect and learn more about this species that is coming back here to our coastline.
Thanks to a long history of shark stigma perpetuated by movies like Jaws and The Meg, another part of the AWSC's mission is convincing people that sharks are worthy of protection.
We always meet that understanding that, of course, people are going to be afraid of sharks. Meeting that understanding first is really important, especially when we have our outreach initiative, which is our Shark Smart program, which is part of our internships. And then those college students are there educating the beachgoers, if they're local or if they are a tourist, about these white sharks here.
Aside from the AWSC, there are many other organizations dedicated to the preservation of marine life. The National Marine Life Center is a Cape-based organization that specializes in the intake and rehabilitation of marine species, especially turtles and seals.
Current priorities are still to rehabilitate and advance science through the rehabilitation. And then, as well as helping sort of marine health and conservation.
Although the rehabilitation work is important, medical care is not the only way that the NMLC works to protect marine species. Educating the public is another way that they can contribute to conservation efforts.
Education automatically comes from telling the patient stories, telling what we've learned, and really educating the public about the threats that these animals face.
For many conservation agencies, their work and funding is heavily dependent on federal regulations and grants, which are currently undergoing major changes.
It has been detrimental. We've seen colleagues and friends lose their job.
Something that is very concerning protection breakdown. The Marine Mammal Protection Act and the Endangered Species Act is currently on the line. And if that is the case, if those animals are no longer protected, then we would be expecting threats to these animals.
With these major changes, agencies must lobby for their rights to continue conservation efforts.
Those numbers and that data that we're collecting are put onto fact sheets and put into letters that are written to our policymakers and our representatives.
The Whale and Dolphin Conservation is a global charity dedicated to the protection of all whales and dolphins. They have an office in Plymouth, allowing members of our town to participate in marine conservation.
Whether you're volunteering with some other wildlife agency or conservation, it all plays back to protecting our natural environment.
Although many charities depend on volunteer work, its benefit goes far beyond keeping organizations running.
There's so much you can do, and it's like some stuff is super simple. Like there's one thing I do called seal sitting. It's so easy. It's such an easy way to get involved in the community, especially since Plymouth is right on the water, and there's always stuff to do.
Thanks to the hard work of these organizations, marine conservation efforts continue to preserve our coastal ecosystems and protect our oceans. Reporting live for PNN, I'm Caitlin Richer.
Thanks, Caitlin and Ellie. It's great to see what organizations are doing to improve the health of marine wildlife. Next, Maeve and Brady will tell us what it's like in the classrooms and inform us about the positives and negatives of AI in specific subjects.
If you're a student or a teacher, you likely know AI all too well. Artificial intelligence has gone from something out of a sci-fi movie to sitting right in the palm of our hands. In the past few years especially, advancements made in AI have taken off. From writing emails to solving math problems, it seems like AI can do it all. But can it?
The advancement of technology and AI specifically in schools have changed drastically how students and teachers are accessing and interacting with information. We have restrictions through our Google admin console to student accounts, their access to some of the tools. We have classroom monitoring software to make sure students are using the technologies that they're supposed to be using. And we have the first frontline defense against it is teachers who know what students know, and teachers who understand what student work looks like.
English and other writing center classes have dealt with AI for the past few years. In the opinions of some, its negative effects on students' ability to think for themselves greatly outweigh its possible benefits.
There was really interesting research that came out this year from Microsoft, who are, part of the whole AI universe. And their findings in terms of knowledge workers was the more people relied on AI, the more confidence they had in AI, the less critical thinking they were doing. Like it was an inverse proportion. AI up, thinking down. That's not who any of us want to be as learners. What matters is their work, and that writing is a tool for thinking and for themselves. It's not just a way of getting an assignment finished. It's a way of seeing yourself on paper, right? And understanding your own thoughts. We want to have the opportunity in school to grow. So I would say step away from your computer and think hard about what you have to say, because no one cares what the computer has to say.
In my media literacy class, we talk about how hard it is to trust anything. So I think they're becoming more aware. And I think everyone's talking about AI now. It's so prevalent that I think everyone's pretty aware that it's something to look out for. I think a lot of it is laziness. I think we've become very lazy as humans, and so AI, because it's the first thing you see on Google searches now, it's like, well, that's easy. The old joke is, where do you hide a dead body on page 2 of the Google results? Because no one ever researches further.
Language classes are also uniquely affected by AI. Tools like Google Translate may seem to provide a quick answer, but it may be more harmful than helpful.
It can't translate, it can't put into words really the intent behind what it is that students are often trying to say. It will often generate content that is far more complex than what a beginner student would be saying. And so it's very easy to detect. I think in our department too, when discussions about AI started happening, and we were kind of like, we've been dealing with this for a while.
Despite concerns, classes such as computer science have found ways to effectively incorporate AI into assignments.
Many of our coding projects, students are able to use AI to help with that tedious task, and they're able to debug if they have issues. So instead of just constantly relying on myself or other students, they're able to use AI as the additional tool. The only concern that I would have is whenever they have AI create the entire code for themselves and they don't understand anything that is there in the first place. And I think that we need to start teaching how to actually ask proper prompts. I think that's going to be something that we need to start working now, is because a lot of the times we don't know exactly what to input. And as a classic computer science jargon goes, garbage in, garbage out. So if you don't know what to ask in AI, you're not going to get proper responses either. So I think that's a skill on its own that we need to start developing.
AI is starting to play a bigger role in classrooms, helping teachers and students get work done in different ways. The technology is here, but how it should be used is up for debate. Let's hope robots don't take over the world. Reporting live for PNN, I'm Maeve Geary. Thank you, Maeve and Brady, for educating us on the importance of using AI wisely to improve our learning, rather than damage it. It is truly fascinating and frightening how much artificial intelligence has been able to grow over the last few years. Turning our attention, Caitlin and Lydia will take us to the fields to learn more about this year's inaugural Lacrosse Mayflower Cup.
4 teams, Plymouth North, Plymouth South, Bourne, and East Bridgewater High School, have come together to create a boys lacrosse tournament called the Mayflower Cup. The coaches have been working hard since the summer to make this possible for the kids within the program. Mr. Perry, the boys' varsity lacrosse coach at Plymouth North, was a major contributor to making this possible.
The Mayflower Cup is a lacrosse tournament that myself and the head coach at Plymouth South, Mr. John Jardin, that we came up with over the summertime. We started talking about doing something during this April vacation.
When Coach Perry brought it to my attention that it was something they wanted to do, we looked at the logistics of it, and both hosting here and at South, the first round and the second round games, it worked out over April break. So, really a lot of credit to our boys lacrosse coaches at both North and South.
Along with Mr. Perry, Mr. Jordan, the boys' varsity lacrosse coach at Plymouth South, helped immensely with the creation of this new tournament that involves teams who are outside of their league.
There were a lot of teams that played in April break vacations. We have the Chowder Cup, the Coaches Cup, and we wanted to provide an opportunity for other teams that don't get those invites to get together over April break and have something to play for mid-season.
Well, be able to get out here and do something like this, especially for a cup like that, it's really cool.
So there's a trophy. So having to be the first name etched on that trophy would be a pretty cool thing. There's only one first. So we're hoping to be that team.
Players at Plymouth North are extremely grateful for this new opportunity of playing different schools over April break. Jake Turchinets knows how important this tournament is for all of those involved.
Being able to play good competition such as Plymouth South, obviously a big rivalry with us, playing them once a year was something that we weren't big fans of, because if we were to lose, we have to wait an entire year to play them again. So being able to play them twice is just a lot of fun. And being able to compete for a championship against them makes it even better.
Congratulations to Plymouth South for winning the first ever Mayflower Cup. After 2 days of hard-fought games, they've wrapped up the first ever Mayflower Cup. I can't wait to see what the next few years brings for the future of this tournament. Reporting live for PNN, I'm Kaylin McNiff.
Thank you, Caitlin and Lydia, for sharing with us that new tradition. It's great to see that student athletes are staying active over break. Now, Amy and Ava take it to the court to introduce us to a student-led basketball league made up of seniors from Plymouth North.
For the past 2 years, a group of Plymouth North students have participated in their very own basketball league, composed of 5 different teams, all competing to move their way up in the power rankings. The basketballers are a group of 31 senior boys, the majority from Plymouth North. Team Rockets, Team Squad, Team Brew, Walgreens Warriors, and Irish Spring make up the league.
At the beginning of the year, we have a draft before the season starts, so there's 5 team captains for this league. And after they're done drafting, they get their team selected, usually 5 or 6 people. A little bit over like 2 years ago, me and all my friends would play a lot of basketball, and we decided to have like a friendly game where like half our friends played against the other half. And then a lot of people liked it, and a lot of people came to watch it. So a lot of people wanted to join, so I was just like, hey, why not? Let's just do a bunch of teams and start a league out of it.
Everybody bought in $20 to play in this league, so we have like a $600, $700 pot, and the winning team gets their money back plus like $90. So we're all it's really competitive.
Despite their busy outside schedules, including commitments to academics, extracurriculars, and varsity sports, these teams coordinate weekly games at Stevens Field. If weather does not permit, players chip in to rent the court at USA Fitness in Carver for a $60 fee.
We're pretty flexible. We don't have like a set schedule. Among the coaches of the teams, we just like work out whatever days each week. It's different per the week based on people's availability.
This league aims to maintain records of every game, including the achievements of individual players, in addition to wins and losses. These stats have allowed for players to improve in their personal skills and their love for the game.
As far as scoring goes, we have stat keepers from like players from other teams or other friends who don't play in the league. They come to the games, and we have stat sheets in which we like keep all players' stats individually throughout the game, and then keep the score in there as well.
The basketball league serves not only as a way for players to stay active, but as a way to stay connected with their friends.
Better than any pickup because it's so organized and you know everybody, so it's very fun.
It really helps with my social life because I don't get out a lot, so having a reason to come out and see my friends is great.
I wanted to join the league because I get to play here with all my friends, and once again, like I said, it's super competitive. To get to keep stats and stuff, that's probably the coolest part about it.
To just be in a space where I can be competitive with all my friends, but also have a lot of fun.
It's easy to just like not hang out with people, so it's good to have a reason to get out there and be active.
Stats have become increasingly important as word of the league has spread on social media and throughout Plymouth North, and students have started expressing loyalty to their favorite teams.
Championship ring. We're coming for it. Walgreens, watch out, Walgreens.
I'm not hoping. I know Team Brew is winning that shit, baby.
Team Brew is going to win the championship.
When it comes to taking initiative for the purpose of physical health, social connections, and friendly competition, this basketball league is a slam dunk for Plymouth North. Reporting for PNN, I'm Amy Lee.
That's amazing, Ava and Amy, and great job to all of the students in the basketball league for growing a community of teamwork and athleticism beyond North. Speaking of community, we asked our seniors what their future plans are.
Hi, I'm Jake Novak. I'm going to Rhode Island College to play baseball and study criminal justice. Go Anchorman.
I'm Will Sears. I'm going to Suffolk University to study business. Go Rams.
I'm Chase Kingston. I'm going to college.
I'm Matt Fries. I'm going to Roger Williams to study criminal justice and swimming. Go Hawks.
I'm back. I'm Chase Kingston. I'm going to the University of Rhode Island for pharmacy. Go Rams.
I'm Caitlin Lawson. I'm going to the University of Connecticut for management and engineering for manufacturing. Go Huskies.
I'm Mackenzie. I'm going to University of Vermont for medical radiation science. Go Cats.
I'm Emma. I'm going to UConn. I'm majoring in biology and minoring in crime and justice. Go Huskies.
I'm Emma Kay, and I'm going to Drexel University, and I'm majoring in music industry. Go Dragons.
I'm Gavin Foley. I'm going to Massachusetts Maritime Academy, and I'm majoring in facilities engineering.
I'm Jack Aacey. I'm also going to Mass Maritime, and I will be majoring in marine engineering. Go Bucks!
I'm Sabrina Andrews, and I'm going to Mass Maritime, and I'm majoring in emergency management, and I'm playing lacrosse. Go Bucks!
Hi, my name is Kendall. I'm going to Merrimack College. I'm majoring in communications, and I'm dancing. Go Warriors!
My name is Kara Sherman. I'm going to Coastal Carolina. I'm majoring in business. Go Chance!
My name's Kylie Cook. I'm going to the University of Tampa, and I'm majoring in nursing. Go Spartans!
Hi, I'm Evelyn, and I'm going to UMass Amherst and majoring in marketing. Go Minutemen!
Hi, I'm Victoria Jocelyn. I'm going to the University of Vermont, and I'm majoring in biology. Go Cats!
I'm Emmy Spinelli. I'm going to Keene State College and majoring in legal studies, and I'm playing ice hockey. Go Owls!
My name's Noah Lips. I'm going to Penn State main campus for mechanical engineering and mechatronics. Go Lions!
My name's Logan Raposa. I'm going to UMass Amherst for informatics. Go Minutemen.
Hi, I'm Evie Morin, and I'm going to Mass Maritime for marine engineering. Go Bucks!
Hi, my name is Grace. I'm going to Suffolk University, and I'm majoring in public relations.
Hi, I'm Nora. I forgot to wear my shirt, but I'm going to Suffolk University, and I'm majoring in poli-sci. Go Rams!
I'm Henry Novick.
I'm Wade Ruska.
And we're going to UMass Amherst for business management.
Economics.
Go Minutemen.
Go Minutemen.
My name is Maya. I'm going to the University of Rhode Island for marketing. Go Rams.
I'm Alana. I'm going to UMaine for nursing. Go Black Bears.
I'm Ellen. I'm going to Roger Williams University. And Mr. O'Mara, he's going to...
My name, like she said, is Mr. O'Mara, and I'm coming back to Plymouth North. Hey!
Congratulations to all of our seniors on their choices. We wish everyone the best of luck with their future. Due to the length of our segments, we were not able to air all of our seniors' choices and news and notes, but you can catch the full version of both on our social media. And that's all we have for you today. Thanks, Plymouth North, for tuning into this episode of PNN and for the support you have shown us over this year. Good luck to next year's PNN crew. We can't wait to see what you will do.